Alright scholars, in this video you are going to learn how to identify linear equations and also construct linear equations, okay? So as you guys may recall, linear equations occupy the form of y equals mx plus b, where the m stands for the slope and the b stands for the y-intercept, okay? The y-intercept. Now, you know, nobody ever wonders why is it called M and why is it called B. I like to think about the B as the beginning point, okay? Beginning point. And I like to think about the M as the movement, because basically slope is a rate of change, which is a type of movement, okay? So that's why, to some extent, they call it y equals mx plus b. And x and y refers to the coordinates. So let's take a look at this. Like, you have two examples here. This first example, your first job is always to identify where is my beginning point? Where is my y-intercept? And the y-intercept always falls along the y-axis. And in this case right here, it's the point in which this line crosses the y-axis, right? If I'm looking at this carefully, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And so at point 4, this is when the line crosses. So b is equal to 4. Great. How do I figure out my m value? Very simply, it's wherever the next coordinate is that forms a perfect crisscross with the grid line behind it. So in this case right here, this is the next coordinate that forms the perfect crisscross. And so that's my next coordinate. With that said, the way that I calculate for my m is because I know this slope is going up, because I could trace it with my finger from left to right, it's going up. That means this is a positive slope. If it's a positive slope, I'm going to make a triangle that goes up and over, right? And with this triangle, I'm able to create the loops that I need to be able to count. I know that from the y-intercept to this, to get to this next point, I had to go one loop up. So already my slope is 1 over, and then I had to move 1, 2 to get to my next point, 1 over 2. And just to check, to go from this point to this point, I go up 1 over 2, right? Up 1 over 2 would get me my next point. And notice the movement is very constant. It's the same movement. That's why they call it a constant rate of change. Now that I have my m value, my b value, the equation of this line is going to be y equals, and in fact, I'll just write y equals mx plus b on, right there, and I'll just change and substitute the m value and the b value. So it will be y is equal to 1/2 x plus 4, okay? And that's the equation of this line. Let's try it one more time over here. Same deal. I'm going to look for my b value first. My beginning point is going to be along the y-axis at -4, okay? And my slope is going to be, well, because I'm tracing this with my pencil and it's going down, that means that it's going to be a negative slope. So I know how to draw a down box, down and over. And let's take a look at this. To get from here to here, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So already my slope is -3 because I'm going down, over 1, 2. There we go. That's my slope, -3 over 2. Just to be sure, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go down by 3, 1, 2, 3, and go over by 2, 1, 2, and bam, I actually hit that line again. Therefore, I know the slope is -3 over 2. Just to put it all together, my equation of this line would be y equals -3 over 2, x minus 4. And that's how you get to the equation of a line, okay? Now, for the second half, how do I construct an equation given this line? Well, you do the same thing. This is your m value and this is your b value. So you always want to begin on the y-axis at whatever the number is. In this case, it tells me to begin at 4. So I'll locate 4, which is right over there, and put a coordinate. And then the slope is the movement, so it's going to tell me how to move. Now, if it's a 2, you always want to put it as a fraction. So in this case, it's 2 over 1, right? You put any whole number as a fraction by putting it over 1. This tells me, okay, if you want to draw the line and locate the next point, you simply move up to 1, 2, and over by 1. That's my next point. And you keep repeating the movement because it's a constant rate of change, up to, over by 1, up to, over by 1, okay? Now, that's all you need to construct a straight line. If you want it to be fancy, you could go backwards, go down 2 over 1 the opposite way, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. But notice it's always going to give you a straight line no matter what, okay? More or less straight because I don't have a ruler. Next question over here, same deal. This tells me to begin at 7, so I'm going to begin at 7. And because it's a negative slope, it says negative 2 over 3. So I'm going to go down by 2, 1, 2, and go over by 3, 1, 2, 3. You always go over to the right, okay, to get the right answer. Down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. Once you have like 1 or 2 dots already done, that gives you the go-ahead to connect the dots, and therefore you are able to make a perfectly straight line.